What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another day, another dollar, and another video. And I hope you guys are enjoying it. Hopefully, you closed out the week on a positive note, as today is Friday. Go into the weekend with a good, good thing on the mind. Made some profits. Hopefully, that is you. If not, then learn from your mistakes, and I hope you can move forward in the future. And hopefully, these videos will help you do better in the future. So let's go over what happened today. We'll go into our 30-minute time frame. Start there. Try to make it brief. Yesterday's video was very long. I'm gonna try to make this video as quick as I can. But you know me, I get explanatory. I get in depth. I like to talk. So we'll do that. Go into the 30. Mark our destinations. Look at our daily time frame. As a little bit has changed on that. We'll look at our weekly time frame, how we closed out the week, and then we'll look at our monthly time frame because things have changed on the monthly so far. We're looking good. This market's looking really nice. However, keep in mind next week we do have a lot on the list of shit, or excuse me, crap that could mess the market up. In the sense of what we got going. We got CPI on Tuesday, Fed on Wednesday, so a lot can change in between those days. And heck, even we could get some volatile, sideways, choppy action where a lot of people, a lot of traders get hurt on both sides. So next week we may end up having to reduce size and watch, and kind of expand our stops a little bit more to keep ourselves protected. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. If you don't mind, please leave a like down below and comment something nice. How'd you close out the week? Let me know. I'd like to know if you close out the week positive. If you're new, let me know you're learning something new here. Let's get right into it. So right now we're looking at our 30-minute bar chart here. Just looking right at what we got going on the profile. From the looks of it, was a very choppy day, right? A lot of up and down action. Not a lot. Not a lot can look positive from this type of mess, right? It's very messy, but very positive for the buyers, in my opinion, and I'll show you why here in just a second. So we opened up today with a gap. Very positive for buyers. Not only did we open up with a gap above the previous day's high, we broke out of the balance that we were in. This very large, sideways, choppy action that we had going for the last several days. Let me get rid of that. The last several days, we finally broke out of that and have began to, what we call it, ladies and gentlemen, we call it one time framing up. So we began one time framing out by taking out that balance high. So I just wanted to show you how we gapped up pretty decent, right? Gap right here, gapped up, pushed up higher, breaking out of that balance. Now what happened in that first 30 minutes? Well, we opened up above, right? So it was a gap and go scenario. We were breaking out of balance. Everything was in the favor of the buyers. We began taking out overnight highs. Things began to, go further into the buyer's favor. And then we continued to push up later in the morning, in the second and third time frames, and push up higher until late in the morning, closer to the evening or the afternoon time frames, before they came into the market. We backfilled and filled that gap. So the gap did not hold, but some very positive stuff came from it, right? We broke out of balance, set a new high on the year, got near our balance high on the monthly, and I'll show you that here in just a second when we get to the monthly time frame if you don't know what I'm talking about. And then we pulled back into yesterday's range and the upper distribution. All right. So we had a double distribution day yesterday. I'm just going to highlight it, the upper portion for you guys that we can see. So this right here was the upper distribution, what I'm highlighting. So buyers wanted to stay in the upper distribution, hold here if anything and chop around, or pull back into that upper distribution, find buyers, and then begin to move back up. And that's exactly what we did today. We pulled back into that area and then pushed back up out of it. So a little bit of a break and retest there, pulling back into that upper distribution. The lower distribution being right here, right? Held up by single prints. If you don't know what single prints are, watch yesterday's video. But you can see two different distributions here and how we held the upper when we pulled back into it. Great area to get long using, I forget what time, K periods low from yesterday at 93.25 on that pullback was a great opportunity to get long and push up higher. And that's exactly what I did. And I'll show you that here in just a second. Let's go ahead and pull up our destinations because you know how I like to look at my destinations. So you can see we opened up above not only one, but two daily highs and then broke out of that balance in A period. B period begins to push up. C period pulled back. We attempted to have a lowest accepted price in B period. That's when A period closes. The first 30-minute period time frame closes. The second time frame opens up and drives straight up. No pullback. And you can see that right there, right? You can see how we closed. And then the same price was opened at 15.25. And then we drove straight up. Very positive for buyers initially. But that got rejected as we pushed up near that 43.2750 area that I've been talking about for a long time now, which was that August extremely balanced high from back of last year, right? August of last year, balanced high, pushed up near it, and then rejected. Not really, I wouldn't say sellers stepped in right here, but definitely some profit taking, which caused this market to rotate over, pulling back in C period, having a little bit of a reversal bar, and then D pulling back and filling that gap. Now, as we pulled back into the previous day's range, as we pulled back and started to fill that gap, I seen that we were pulling back into not only a gap area, but a previous balance. Now, knowing that we broke out of that balance area, I was looking to get long around the 4,300 level. So as we continued to pull back in E period, I began buying up around 4,300 and 4,350, 4,301, a 5 lot just to get long. And then I was looking to actually buy more to get up to a 10 lot, but I didn't want to risk a whole lot as it was my first trade of the day. So as we continue to push back down, I was thinking about accumulating some around the 297, 296 area, but and I was using this time frame's low 93.25 as my out. Had we broken below that, I would have gotten stopped out of this trade, and it would have, obviously the market would have pulled back and possibly tested that 42.8350 area. So I was long 4,300. I took a little bit of heat initially, and then once G period opened up, pushed lower and couldn't take out F period's low. Another thing to keep in mind was after we had pulled back, we attempted to go trend and failed not only once, but twice to go trend down, meaning we failed to hold single prints, kind of like we did here, right? But on the downside. We failed to do it in E period as F filled, and then we failed to do it in F as G filled it. So I was feeling confident that sellers were not really that strong and buyers would begin to hold the upper portion of the upper distribution. Right? You didn't want to break M's low, L's low, or K's low. That's why I had my stop there at 93.25. So once G period opened up and couldn't take out F, I was very confident in my trade. I should have added, but once again, I did not want to add that risk to the market. And once it began to push up, I initially had my target set up here at 43.1525, which was B's low. I was looking for us to pull back up into that area. And I was going to take profit there. But as we began to grind up here in H period, I was speculating maybe we'll have an afternoon rally high. Didn't know how much this market wanted to push up. So I got out near E's high around 43.06 actually. 43.0625 was my exact out. I wanted to get 43.08, but didn't know if this market wanted to push up. So I got out and then attempted to take a short, but then felt like it might be too soon to take a short in I period. So I got out for break even on that trade. And then the market, popped up and it was a great short opportunity in J period as it failed to get to C's low and then rolled over. Good short opportunity there. I'm not sure if I would have taken it, but market began to roll over and chop around for the later portion of the day. But Buyers holding above the previous day's high, buyers holding the upper distribution. That is what you want to see. Not only did they do that, they pushed up out of balance and tested that 43.2750 area before pulling back. So coming in the next week, do we continue to one time frame up, or do we pull back, come back into some type of consolidation prior to the Fed? That is the question. But right now, buyers have everything in their corner for a good attempt to break that 43.2750 area that we keep talking about. So let's go ahead and mark today's low. The low of day 94. All right, 94 is the low of day. After we get through this, we will go into our larger time frame. So please stick around for that. And like I said, I'm trying to make this video as comprehensive and quick as possible, giving you all the ins and outs of what happened in the day. But I couldn't be more happy with myself on that trade and on the pullback in E and F period, holding and sticking to my stop, respecting that demand area where I was expecting us to bounce from, and then got exactly that. Could I have gotten a couple more points out of it? Yes, I could have gotten about 6 more points out of the trade, but I'll take what I made on it. I was long 4,300, took, a couple points of heat, and then got 6 points out of the trade on a 5 lot. So happy with it. All right, so we have an afternoon rally high in J period, not textbook because we're not holding single prints, but we'll call it an afternoon rally high because trend days have held like 40 or not 40, about 30% of the time this year. We've held trend days, so not real high percentages for us to hold trend days. So it's more likely that we won't have trend days, but we will still have like an afternoon rally high or an afternoon pullback low. And then we have today's high at 25.50. 25.50. Boom, boom. High of day. 6.950. Oh, whoa. So there you guys have it. If we open up in the market on Monday below the afternoon rally high of 43.1350 and can't push above it, you'll look to test the day's low at 42.94. We break that, we'll come back into the balance, and then your next downside target is 42.8350 and then 42.81. And then on the upside, that 43.1350, if we can get above that, 43.2550 and 43.2750 balance high, extreme balance high, August high. Keep in mind, Monday we will be rolling over to the September contract. So a lot of these numbers will change, and I'll have to, backtrack and relabel everything. So keep that in mind. Coming into Monday, we'll be rolling over to the new contract ESU 23. That is. All right, let's go ahead and look at our larger time frames. We'll start with the monthly and work our way down. Monthly. Zoom this bad boy in. All right, so here's our monthly time frame. Now, I had two separate balances. I had a primary balance, which was the much larger balance that you see on the screen here, of 43.2750 that you hear me talk about a lot. 3,500 basically is the balance low, and then the secondary smaller balance was 42.0850 to 37.8850. And we have broken out the secondary, and now we're attempting to break out of that much larger balance area. I would feel more comfortable as a buyer in this market if we get above 43.2750 and hold above it with confirmation. That to me would confirm the monthly one time frame and up. You can say that the monthly is one time frame and up after taking out May's high and coming out of this balance. You can say that it's up, but for me, I will not call it firmly up until 43.2750 is taken out and we push and close above it, or even push above it with really good extension. Now for our weekly. Weekly has been one time framing up 2 weeks in a row since breaking out of balance. If I can get there, so sorry. And then we hit our target, right? We basically hit our target on the weekly of that 43.2750 area. That was target one. So 2 weeks in a row now, we've pushed up, one time framing up, taking out previous time frames high. Now next week, we want to take out this week's high and break that 43.2750. If we fail to do that, we will look to take out the weekly low at 42.6450. If we take that out, we'll come back into a balance. All right, if we can get above 43.27, you'll look to target 4,500. Target number 2 on our weekly time frame. One time framing up 2 weeks in a row. And into our daily time frame. Last but not least, most certainly not least, let's look at our daily. I gotta buy a new mouse. This thing's getting annoying. All right, so here's our daily. Our daily is, right, keep in mind this area here that I was marking as a big resistant, big supply area that we want to get through, and we so far have proven to have difficulties. Initially, we are breaking out of that balance right there at 43.0575. That was our balance high, and we took it out today with pretty good force, moving 20 points to the upside before pulling back and then closing above it. Nice little doji. Now the question is, do we continue to one time frame up, take out the 2750 area and push higher, or do we push up, test it, fail again, rotate down, and put ourselves back into another balance prior to the Fed? Everything is on the table come next week. I hope you all had a wonderful week. Looking forward to it next week. Let's get it. I'm excited. Hope you are too. Catch you guys in the next one.